Get ready for another wild ride through Reddit. Today we're exploring our /Tifu with 6 absolutely incredible stories. These posts had everyone talking, and I know you're going to love them. Hit like if you're excited. This story is titled TIFUpdate, posted by you/I don't know. I am referring to this post right here. I hope I'm doing this correctly. I've never posted or had to do an update before. Reddit. Commerterfush 5jung04j anyway, along with the update, so my roommate got home. He stepped into the apartment, and first thing he said was, "Wow, this place looks amazing, you good, hun?" This then led into a conversation on how I went into a spiral and to get my mind kinda off everything I was cleaning. He told me that he realized he was in love with me in the beginning of July when I got some really bad medical news. And he said that he needs me in his life no matter what that way it is, and he can't lose me. I went speechless when he said this, to be honest. We both took a deep breath and we could tell nerves were high. We talked about boundaries and everything like that, and we have agreed that we are going to try dating. And we have agreed to take things slow due to past trauma on my part. Now, him and I have to figure out how to tell our friend that tried setting us up 3 years ago that we are now together rolling on the floor laughing. Thank you for the advice, and I swear my life is a movie sometimes. This story is titled Tifu by Flirting with My Roommate, posted by you/I don't know. Our next story is equally fascinating. Okay, softly, first thing is first, we are both single. He is M21 and I am F23. We were at Dungeons and Dragons. And all of our friends flirt with each other. It's kinda how our friend group works. So much so my roommate calls me his lesbian girlfriend, and I call him my gay boyfriend. We are both bisexual. I've known that I have been in love with my roommate since end of June. So we were all having some alcohol, and I figured, what's the harm in flirting with him? He doesn't like me back. So I jokingly started flirting with him. Nothing too much, no one got uncomfortable. We were all just laughing, drinking, playing Dungeons and Dragons, and no one thought much of it. Later, him and I went home after all the alcohol was out of our system. And we didn't talk much on the car ride home. The next night I'm in my room reading my book, and he is getting ready to leave for work. He knocks on my door and asks me, "Hey, have you ever thought about me in a romantic sense?" I immediately freaked out and responded with, "No," and then said, "Well, that's a lie. I have, but I understand if you don't feel the same," and I'll back off. Then his alarm went off for him to leave for work before he could respond, and I'm just sitting here spiraling. We have an apartment tour in the morning, and I don't know how to bring up the conversation again. I don't know what to do. Please help with advice if y'all have any on how I can make my Tifu better. TLDR. If my roommate doesn't feel the same, it'll make the next 6 months extremely awkward, or if he does, then I don't know the next steps. Link to the update, www. Reddit. Commerterfush 2GDW0BBSWQ. This story is titled Tifu by eating the whole tin of Icebreakers on the drive to work, posted by you/0cafe1a. This story is equally incredible. I'm trying to quit a 2-decade heavy nicotine habit. And today was my first day back at work since I've quit. I told myself as long as I didn't stop on the hour drive there, I was golden. I had a tin of Icebreaker sour mints on me, and was housing them 5 to 10 at a time. I finally parked and realized I'd ran through a whole tin. I looked at the calories and such to see if I did any damage. What caught my eye was the artificial sweeteners they use, and I knew I was fucked. It was the same kind that used to be in these Atkins bars I ate, and would have me begging for mercy on the toilet. My stomach immediately dropped. I sprinted into work and beelined to the bathroom. I work at a concert venue, and the head singer was in the big staff bathroom with me adjusting his clothes. A quick nod and "How you doing?" and I went to the farthest stall. What proceeded was madness. I immediately drop a horse pile while I time the flush perfectly. He's still in the bathroom with me. As soon as the horse pile and flush stops, I couldn't control the loudest fart, followed by another horse pile in the silence. He's trying not to laugh. I'm clutching my gut as it gurgles the most insane sounds, wanting to scream at him to leave. I finally can't and fart for probably 30 seconds straight, and another horse pile falls out. The fart started before the flush and was still going after it was over. I don't even know if he was in the bathroom anymore. This went on for at least another 10 minutes to the point I was starting to worry. Horse pile. Massive fart. Rinse and repeat. I got up and was dripping diarrhea on the ground. After using probably a roll of toilet paper and another 5 flushes, I started my shift. Luckily, I did not see the head singer again all night. I'm sure he will tell that story to someone. This story is titled Tifu by letting my dog use the litter box, posted by you/Supernora. Our next story is equally fascinating. So, like many fuss. This is one that I discovered today, but has been brewing for a while. I, 48F, have an old Chihuahua mix, 19M. Back in September, the cat distribution system unexpectedly deposited a kitten into our lives. It's been a bit of a disruption, but overall she's been a nice addition to our lives. As all the kitten books advised, I kept her and the dog separate for the first few months, with only supervised visits and sniffs on opposite sides of closed doors. When I finally did let them occupy the same space, I was surprised that the dog mostly ignored the kitten. Given the opportunity to enter the cat's room, he would trot right past her cute, eager face and investigate the litter box. I kept it clean, so he never got access to the kitten plops he craved. But hope springs eternal, and he checked back regularly. Then, one morning, as I was feeding the kitten, I heard the sound of pee on litter behind me. Sure enough, there was the dog, nose buried in the litter box, having a pee. I wasn't thrilled, but it seemed fairly harmless. I scooped out the massive clumps of wet litter, walked the dog as usual, and went about my business with the smug reflection that my old dog, at least, could learn new tricks. Over the next few weeks, I noticed that the dog was still using the litter box sometimes. I didn't encourage it. There's a lot of pee in that dog, and it definitely went through litter more quickly than a tiny kitten alone. And the room definitely smelled more than it had when it was just the kitten, no matter how often I scooped. Then, tonight, I noticed a puddle on the litter mat underneath the box. Dog must have missed, I figured. No big deal. And then, I fucked up. After moving the litter box over onto a pee pad, I picked up the litter mat. And dog pee came pouring out of it. It was soaked. Pee went everywhere. Pee on my clothes. Pee on the floor. Old pee. New pee. So much pee. So, I kicked both dog and kitten out of the room, and I cleaned. Threw out the mat. Scrubbed and swept and mopped the floor. Sprayed enzyme cleaner everywhere. Covered the room in pee pads. We will never be clean again. This story is titled Tifu showing my kids the Labyrinth movie, Brooke Shields David Bowie, posted by you/NoRoll4980. Let's dive into another shocking story. Spoilers, man, I forgot how absolutely traumatizing the beginning of it was. But I remember loving it as a kid. I have toddlers who are around 3 now, and damn, I was just so tired of Peppa and Cocomelon, and so I browsed YT free movies. And I saw The Labyrinth was free and thought, oh snap, I loved that movie as a kid. I just remember thinking the puppets were cool and the soundtrack was my favorite. Then, like 5 minutes in, I knew the baby brother was taken by the goblins, and Brooke Shields had to go save him, but I completely forgot how absolutely terrifying the entire scene leading up to that was. And I look over at my kid and she's trembling because she's so scared. The other one didn't seem so bothered, but I just immediately had to stop the movie and change it to something else. So now we are watching Charlie Brown and I'm trying to explain to her that the princess, Brooke Shields, went to save the baby from the goblins, and I just feel like a terrible parent and that I've accidentally traumatized my child for life because I'm a dumbass and I just wanted to pick something we all might like. Now she's confused and scared for the baby that got kidnapped by goblins and wants to know if it's okay and if I should just continue the movie or just leave her confused. But now I probably gotta check for goblins every night for the next few years before bedtime, damn. This story is titled Tifu by letting my travel buddy borrow my card for just gas on our road trip, posted by you/WearyHair316. And now for our final story of today. So, this happened 2 months ago, and I'm still sick thinking about it. My friend and I planned a small road trip, nothing dramatic, just a weekend drive to clear our heads. On the first day she realized she forgot her wallet, huge red flag I stupidly ignored. So when we stopped for gas, she asked if she could just use my card and Venmo me later. Fine, whatever. I didn't want the trip to start awkward. Except gas was only the beginning. Every stop after that somehow ended with her using my card again. Coffee? I'll pay you later. Snacks? Can you just put it on your card? It's easier. We grabbed dinner. And I went to the bathroom, came back, and she'd handed my card to the waiter. I should have said something right there. But confrontation is my kryptonite, and I didn't want to be that person on a trip. We got back home and I checked my balance. And my heart literally dropped. She hadn't charged me just gas. She'd used it for lunch, dinner, Starbucks, random little shops, a souvenir stand, and God knows what else. It was basically a shopping spree funded by my stupidity. My credit utilization jumped to almost 80% overnight. I didn't even know she spent that much. I confronted her and she had the audacity to say, "It's not that serious, you make more money than me." I swear I almost ascended. I've been working all year to fix my credit, tracking everything, budgeting tightly. And now one dumb weekend undid months of progress. I paid the card down, but the score drop already happened. So, yeah, Tifu by trying to be a nice friend, and instead sponsoring someone else's vacation. Never again. That wraps up today's incredible Reddit stories compilation. If you enjoyed these amazing tales, hit like and subscribe for more daily content. What was your favorite story? Let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching.